I think we'll put in for a grant for speaking Irish. Yeah. Today we have visitors from across the shop. That's across the water, Daddy, but it's not nice. We'll have with us the Bridgeton band from Glasgow. May I welcome you back to your homeland. It's also good to see from Liverpool. From Liverpool. Northern boys from Everton Road. Welcome. May I say, brother, it's a pleasure to see so many here today. Wednesday night was an inspiration to see all the people coming. Not from just Belfast, but from Fermanagh, Tyrone, County Down, County Antrim. They were there. And it's good to see that we have that support, contrary to the media who seem to think we're on our own. And I call upon John Aughey to make the speech here today. He is one of the members of the Ardoyne lodges. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Loyalist Woodville, just a few hundred yards from Loyalist Ardoyne up the road. The most expensive few hundred yards of real estate in Europe, if some of the costs being bandied about are to be believed. Now I'm sure, as you're all aware, we recently celebrated, if that's a correct word, the 300th day of our protest. A protest with the sole aim of allowing the local lodges and bands to proceed home along the only feasible route available. A dignified, respectful and peaceful public display of heritage and culture on a public road. A reasonable expectation in any liberal democracy, but not in or even close to the People's Republic of Ardoyne. On behalf of the lodges and bands, I would like to thank all of you for your unwavering support and encouragement since last July. The enemies of freedom and democracy said it would never last. How wrong they were. We are still here, and we have no intention of going away until our human rights are respected and we can proceed home in the peaceful, dignified and respectful manner that we always do. Now I can't proceed without mentioning the events of the last week or two. It started with that saintly man, that paragon of virtue, that wonderful human being, the big cheese himself, Gerry Adams, being scooped by those despicable dark forces. You see, I can tell lies too, not just the shinners. They were so upset that we were treated to a hilarious and bizarre spectacle of Bobby Story standing in front of a painting of Ralph Harris, behaving like a gibbering imbecile, asking how anybody dare lay their hands on his Führer. And no wonder they were annoyed. They were assured by Tony B. Lair, no, it was right first time, and the slimy snake oil salesman Peter Hain, that they were untouchable. And the higher up the IRA tree they slithered, the more untouchable they are. And make no mistake, that's still the case. Did anybody here seriously think that Adams, or anybody else with high rank in the provisionals, unless you fall out with them, will ever be charged with anything? Of course not. I believe the whole thing was a publicity stunt, a gimmick, to allow St. Gerry to play the victim, the martyr. It was all set up for Jerry Mandela to emerge like a messiah from Antrim Holding Centre on a Sunday afternoon. A great time to be released on a slow news day. What a pity those pesky prods get ruined his golden opportunity by gathering outside. So that Adams had to sneak out the back like a sewer rat. How appropriate. But the appeasement process, or the peace process, as the media insist on calling it at Sinn Féin's instructions, must continue. And to hell with justice, truth and democracy. It is an appeasement process. It's still going on. And it's going on at a level that would embarrass even Neville Chamberlain. Now the sinners are demanding a truth commission. They couldn't make it up. They wouldn't know the truth if it jumped up and bit them in the arse. Remember the lies about Enniskillen. It was the Brits whose radio detonated the bomb, despite the fact that it was detonated on a timer. It had no remote capability. The Mon, that was the fault of those broads again, who vandalised all the public telephones. The last bomb down the Shankill, there's EDA meeting taking place at the time. Lies, all lies. And of course, the old faithful one, the one they've used numerous times. They did inform the police, but the police didn't do anything about it. They made the IRA look bad. You couldn't make it up. They really are Ulster's BNP, the brass neck party. You couldn't burn their neck with a blow torch. They demand inquiries and truth. Given they had a multi-million-pound inquiry into Bloody Sunday, the only one who didn't tell the truth was Sir Martin of Bogside. I wonder will Spike Murray tell the truth about allegedly important weapons from the USA after the so-called ceasefire. And I wonder if there's any chance of the sinister minister himself, Jelly Night Jerry, the Land Rover surfer, telling the truth about what he was doing in Amsterdam with a convicted sectarian mass murderer with a huge amount of firearms, explosives and a ton of nitrobenzene, planning more sectarian atrocities, no doubt. But will he tell the truth about that? I doubt it. And of course, not forgetting Adams himself, who can't even tell the truth to his own family. Truth, they're having a laugh. Then later on the week, we had the chronically offended trying to get the Students' Union of Queens to stop selling poppies. This being offended by everything and anything has gone way past a joke. Only the government, along with their agencies and their quangos, still fail to see the funny side. Irish Republican policy summed up in one sentence: if we can't claim it as our own, then it must be destroyed. And this, of course, is why we are still here after more than 300 days, the result of another dirty secret deal between people without a shred of honour, decency or respect for what is right. Yet our politicians say they are shocked and horrified at these secret deals. How can they be? To be making secret deals with provisional since the days of Willie Whitelaw. Talking of politics and politicians, as we all know, there are elections coming up in a few weeks. Now, I understand why so many Protestants are disillusioned with the political process. We have seen the Democratic majority treated with contempt for years. We have seen every accepted rule of democracy turned on its head to appease the terrorists. Yet we must use the power of the ballot box, no matter how much the authorities have corrupted that power. It's still a very powerful weapon. And sad to say, we have allowed our enemy to use that weapon where we have sat like rabbits in the headlights. As a result, they now dominate and control the media, the judiciary, the civil service and the police. Recently I asked an acquaintance of mine if he had been voting after he complained about our elected representatives. He said he hadn't, and when I asked him why, he said, I couldn't be bothered. So now we have the new Ulster motto. In 1689 it was no surrender. In the 1890s it was a union well maintained. In 1912 it was for God and Ulster. In the 1970s there was no surrender to the IRA. And in 2014 it's I can't be bothered. That is disgraceful. And I apologise to all you good people who have shown over 300 times that you can be bothered. And as long as there are enough people like you, then all's not lost. The three lodges and the two bands will always be grateful for that fact. I just wish there were more like it. So later on this month, make sure you get out and vote Unionist, any Unionist, and encourage all your friends, family and neighbours to do the same. So once more, here we stand, and with your help and support we'll get home. It shouldn't be too much to ask until we think of the evil and corruption at the heart of politics in Northern Ireland. But until then, no surrender. Thank you.
The national anthem of the United Kingdom.
Yes. National anthem.